Why don't you invite a Pokemon into the bathroom with you?
I don't know.
Because he might Pikachu.
Okay.
I can tell you what happened. No, actually, that's not true. I can tell you what I did to fix it.
Okay.
My internet went weird. It was on my end. It was not on your computer. Everything was fine. It was my computer.
That's what it seemed like. Yeah, we tried recording yesterday, and it didn't.
Oh, don't worry.
I
saved all of the audio from our takes, and so you can.
No.
Well, no. You definitely. I'm going to send it to you, and then you can. There's all sorts of delights that you'll discover in there, like unwrapping a package on Christmas morning, being like, Matt, what's going on? Anyway.
Yeah.
I had to restart a thing. No, actually, I had to factory reset my internet router and reset it up, and then everything worked fine. I don't know what happened.
Factory reset. Oh my God.
Yes, I know.
A mere
reboot was not sufficient. Sorry.
Yeah, that's usually that works for me.
It was very serious. Anyway, so I'm sorry that we tried to record this yesterday. We had all the time set aside and everything, and then the internet failed.
Yeah.
The most obnoxious thing, of course, was then when I went upstairs, everything was fine, and then only downstairs it didn't work, and then it was anyway, it's all fixed. So
that's weird. That's so weird.
I
don't. Yeah.
You sound a little hoarse today. Are you all right?
Horse. There's a horse joke in there. There you go. Well, I don't know if today it was just the fact that I just slept until like 12:30. Yeah, but I because so it's I haven't been up that long, but but I am still sick with the COVID.
No.
Yeah, because you didn't know that before. Yes, you did. But the listeners don't, and so I'm going to tell them that I was
channeling the listeners.
Excuse
me. That's what they said
I still
when they
am
heard
clearing
that
my
sound.
throat because I got stuff. I just ate, so I'm digesting right now.
That's
so
good.
It's not going to be good. There's going to be all kinds of weird sounds.
Hold on. I have a couple more things to jot down. I keep a notebook of these things.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm always my esophagus is always making noises, but it's going to be really bad right now. It's going to be fun. Yeah. I do wear briefs. Anyway.
Yep. No, I got that right here.
So the thing I have to say, and I'm incredibly ugly. Oh, but the
only our listeners could know that.
Things the listeners don't know.
As I do.
Yeah, things the listeners don't know. But I'm officially a breakthrough case of the COVID because I have been fully vaccinated since.
Congratulations!
Since March.
You've always wanted to be a breakthrough.
Yes, that's right. In
a breakthrough,
and
this is anything.
Yeah, this is something at least.
Yeah, It's finally what you've long wanted.
That's right, and I can't get these settings right here. This is really frustrating me. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know, man. And my wife tested negative. She thought she had some very slight symptoms, but I don't know.
Oh my gosh, hold on a second.
Probably going to retest.
Wait. Hold on. That just rolled off your tongue so well.
What?
My wife. You said it so smoothly that like I had to think about it for a second and be like, no, he's not married. Wait a second, I was there. He is married.
Well, because after like 2.5 years, I'm so sick of saying fiance, which is a terrible word, and this is just much faster to say. So it's not weird to me. It's I've been waiting for this. I'm like, for God's sake, can I just start saying wife? It's such a single syllable.
That's what I do. I just call my wife, or sometimes if I'm feeling really short, just whiff.
Oh.
I'd be like,
Whiff.
Make me a sandwich.
Yeah, well, you can omit any of the letters. You can say "if," or you can say "we," or "y." Would it be pronounced "y" like 5? Anyway,
or just woof, woof.
Yeah, woof, woof. That's what my dog.
I'm sorry, we got distracted.
It's fine. It's fine.
Sorry, so you're saying your wife has not tested positive?
That's right, and I don't know. She had like a virtual doctor meeting, and he said, "Well, you probably have it, but it's a false negative or something, or you're not testing positive yet or something." He's like, "You should get retested." So he told her to isolate for 14 days. It's counterintuitive because if you actually know you have it, you have to isolate for a shorter period of time than if you don't know you have it, but you know you're exposed to someone. I think the idea is that you could get it a couple days later and then have symptoms or whatever, and then be contagious. And so it's like if you actually have it, then you count from the onset of symptoms 10 days, and then you're no longer contagious, supposedly.
Does this mean that you're not actually seeing your wife right now? Is she like in a different part of your house?
No, that's ridiculous. And so it's kind of silly that they told her to isolate for 14 days from the time she talked to the doctor, because she's like, well, I'm still going to be exposed to him, but whatever. Yeah. I suppose she should start counting from tomorrow, meaning Thursday, which is 10 days for me. So supposedly I shouldn't be contagious anymore. I don't know. It's just you just got to stay away from people for a while if you are exposed or think you have it or whatever. But yeah, I thought it was I was surprised that I tested positive at first, because I know there are a lot of colds going around now. Something to do with the fact that people for so long have been wearing masks, and so just human society has has lost some of its natural immunity to the regular bugs, and the ones
I heard that
something.
I heard that they're expecting whole variants of flu to die off and go extinct because of the fact that people have been staying so far apart from one another.
I didn't hear that. That's interesting. But I don't know. In any case, like, it's a weird time right now to, summer is usually not when people get sick from colds and things. Mm-hmm. But, so I just thought, I'm like, well, I'm fully vaccinated. And so it's probably less of a chance that I'm a breakthrough case than it is than I just have one of these colds going around. So, and it felt just like a cold at first. Like, in fact, it felt like a very mild cold. Like I didn't have a fever or anything. I just had like a headache and fatigue and then some congestion later. But then once I tested positive, I was like, what? And now, but then like after a while, it became clear. It started not feeling like a regular cold just because the fatigue had gone on for so long. Like for like a full week, I was just like, and usually when I get a cold, like I have like 3 days of that, and then there's like a point at which like, I don't know, there's like a break in the direction of, I was like, oh, I feel better today. And then like I might still have some congestion and like a cough later, and I'm still got symptoms, but I feel like I can do things. And this was just like every day I'm like, oh God, like I took out the garbage and I'm like, I'm exhausted. And so, and it's like very gradually, like I've been start feeling a little better, and I feel like mostly fine today. I don't know.
That's good. That's good.
But then the other thing is that I lost my sense of smell completely. Which when I have a cold, I usually get like a diminished sense of smell. Like even if my nose isn't stuffy, I'll feel it'll be like harder to smell things or taste them or whatever. So at first I thought that was normal too, because it was gradual over a couple of days. But then by Saturday I was like, when I tested positive, then I was like, I had to think about it and be like, because it still didn't feel that weird. I had to think about it and be like, I really don't think I have any sense of smell. And that's been one of the most interesting parts of this whole thing, because I still don't have it back. But it's, I know that like smell and taste kind of are blurred together, and I think maybe some people don't realize that.
Yes.
I once had this. I once saw this kind of like seminar thing about smell. It was like a talk, and there was the two panelists were somebody who is like a designer of cologne or perfume or something, and the other guy was like this neuroscientist who like studies all this stuff. And he did this, like, he had us do like this experiment thing where he put jelly beans in front of us with different colors, different flavors. And he said, okay, put the jelly bean in your mouth, but plug your nose with your fingers and chew it for a while. And when you did that, all the jelly beans tasted the same. They just tasted like generically sweet.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, now let go of your nostrils and keep your mouth closed and exhale through your nose. And then the flavor would come in. It's like, oh, strawberry, orange, grape. So it's like, that's what it's like. It's like I can taste like, oh, this is salty. This is sweet. This is bitter. This is sour. But I'm like, but I don't know what flavor it is. Like, I can't tell the flavor. And it's, it's interesting because it's not as, like, I'm simultaneously realizing how much I use my sense of smell in daily life, and also how much I don't, because like obviously when I'm eating, but like most of the time, like I forget that I can't smell anything. I'm just like, oh, I didn't smell that. But sometimes you just don't smell things, so it feels normal. You're just like, but you should have smelled that because you farted pretty badly, Matt. And then it's like, oh yeah, I didn't smell that fart. But like you have to think about it. Like you have to think about the fact that it's weird, because it's not like you're walking around like, oh God, I can't see anything. You're not walking around all day going, oh my God, I can't smell anything. Like you don't even notice it. You kind of most of the time, I think you're not smelling things that much in life. But then when I'm eating, that's the weird thing. And it's interesting because it's also a good and bad thing for me, because I'm such a picky eater and I don't like things. So now I'm like, I don't care that I'm eating this, because I don't, because I don't care, because I can't taste it anyway. And so I'll eat these.
Do you think this means that when you go back, when your smell returns, presuming it ever does, do you think you'll go back to
gorging myself on donuts?
Well, yeah. Will you either go back and be like, man, this celery is really sweet, or will you be like, I will never eat. I will only eat donuts again.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be the latter, which is why I'm like, maybe it's good for me personally to not have a sense of smell, because I'll probably end up eating healthier. Because on the one hand, the things I used to not like the taste of, I won't mind now, and on the other hand, the things that I did enjoy eating that were terrible for me, I'm like, well, what's the point in eating it? I can't taste it anyway. So like I've been eating less like terrible things because that taste good, because I'm like, I can't taste it. I think exactly. So I don't know. I mean, it's been interesting, the whole smell thing.
You were just talking about sense of taste and smell, and I saw a YouTube video recently from Steve Mould, who is talking about, the video was about what do protons taste like, and which is such a weird question.
Yeah.
But the answer is they taste sour.
Oh, okay.
Because that is what the definition of sour it means. Like when you taste something tastes sour, you're tasting something that is acidic.
Okay.
And that acid is represented by like free-flowing hydrogen atoms, like protons, just lying around in your food.
I see.
And so it's like, so your sour taste buds are literally just letting in like there's a certain receptor on them that lets in these hydrogen atoms, these positively charged hydrogen atoms, and then you think, oh, that's sour. And there's a similar
so Sour Patch Kids should be called atomic
warheads,
or
atomic warheads.
Hydrogen Patch Kids.
But he had a follow-up video too about the other senses of taste, and how each of them are related to some specific, physical phenomenon of the substance. Things like when you taste bitter, you're tasting a food which kills living things. Like you're tasting a poison.
Yeah.
When you have bitter foods, your stomach reacts in this very specific way, and like here.
So how come some of the most healthy things like taste bitter, like certain greens and like asparagus and stuff? It tastes bitter. It's good for you. It doesn't make any sense. It's backwards.
Who designed this system?
Who designed these tongues?
That's what she said.
I needed to look at the blueprints for these tongue devices. Listen,
anyway, it's a great video. We'll put a link to it in the show notes. It's wonderful. It's a couple of videos, and it's not long. And I learned so much things that are sort of obvious but I've never seen it sort of presented in that way. And as a result, I really learned a lot of things. So it was good.
That does sound like fun. The talk I saw was interesting, but there's no way to put it in the show notes because I don't even have any memory of who this was or anything. But
I mean, did it even really exist? Maybe it's a fabricated memory.
No, not at all. And this guy was...
maybe it's a collective hallucination at this point. I mean, it's been so long.
Yeah, probably. That's kind of how many of my memories feel nowadays.
Yeah.
Listen, I didn't even say the song at the beginning yet. We've just been talking about my COVID.
Let's do that. Sorry.
What you heard at the beginning was the group Sensible Fun, and it was from the album Let's Get Responsible. But it was their chart-topping single, We Gon' Party Till the Break of 9:30, 10 o'clock at the latest. It's going to take us at least 35 minutes to get home, and Ben really needs to be in bed by 11 on Saturdays. Otherwise, it's difficult for him to readjust his sleep schedule before the work week. Oh, heavens, no, not for me. I don't drink. And it's very catchy. I like it. It was all over the radio in 2011,
I have a sensible joke.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to tell it?
Yes. Puns make me feel numb, but math puns make me feel number.
That's clever. Is number a word? Now I just realized this. This is just hitting me. Can you say you have to say more numb? Or is it really a word to say, I feel number than you feel because I've had more Novocaine injected in my face or something?
That's right.
But then it would be spelled the same way as number. And yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah, sorry.
And it sounds like you can't answer it. So
I don't know. I'm not a dictionary. Go look it up.
Well, you know everything else. I mean, you seem to know everything else, or at least you know. You've said before that you know one fact about everything enough to make for good party conversation. So you know you must know one word in the dictionary.
I do.
I'm assuming you know one definition.
Hey, do you know that icy is the easiest word to spell?
Why? What do you mean it's the easiest word to spell?
Yeah, looking at it, ICY.
Oh, icy. You know what? When you first said icy, I thought of the
7-Eleven beverage? No.
The slushies. Yeah.
No.
I see why. Wow, you must know a lot of terrible jokes. Like really.
Partially, it's my dad cred, and partially it's because I have a son who loves bad jokes.
Yeah, but this is coming from someone who is intolerant of puns. I mean, you've said
I think puns are okay. I just think that there's like a limit. There's a limit. And it turns out that, like, for example, my wife's threshold is much lower.
She loves the puns.
She loves the pun. I'm sorry. I interrupted several times.
It's fine. You interrupted with self-incriminating.
Maybe we should... maybe we should turn to the Mad Hat.
We should turn to the Mad Hat. It's about that time. We've exhausted our
friendly banter.
we've exhausted our 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 pre-Mad Hat drawing entertainment factor.
It's like the free space in podcast bingo. That's what we just exhausted.
Okay. Oh God. Maybe we should. I don't know how
that weird block of programming at from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. on the local access channel that they let run for some reason, and these people you don't know show up and they start. And there's a camera, and there's some kind of backdrop, and there's some kind of unrecognizable shape in the backdrop, and then people come out in funky costumes, like there's some kind of inside joke you don't know. Yep.
There's a new public access channel in town. It's called the Internet. And said in 1998. Anyway, before we draw for the Mad Hat, I have to tell you that this podcast was brought to you by NatureFresh.
Whoa.
What?
You don't have to tell them. We want to tell them.
Well, I want to tell them so badly that it feels like a need, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I just have to tell. Listeners,
I
have to. You have to let me tell you this.
Okay, got it. All right. Boy, go.
I'm
who
dying.
Am I to stop you?
I'm dying to tell you all that this podcast was brought to you by NatureFresh. More and more, Americans are thinking about what they're putting in their bodies and looking for better and better ways to eat fresh and organic. From subscribing to meal delivery services and purchasing their produce from local free-range farms, to home gardening and even raising their own poultry and livestock. But running a backyard farm can be stressful and time-consuming in our already hectic day-to-day lives, and many find themselves wishing there was a simple way to maintain a natural diet in the modern world. Introducing NatureFresh Werewolf Serum. NatureFresh Werewolf Serum takes the guesswork out of getting delicious, hearty, 100% natural ingredients delivered right to your doorstep. Our patented formula is 10 years in the making and guaranteed to provide same-day delivery of fully prepared meals made with only the freshest ingredients. When you hold one of our Elixir Ready vials up above your head and marvel at its contents in the glare of your lantern, a mysterious, audibly bubbling green luminescence silhouetted against a windowed foil of black sky cracked by forks of lightning, you'll clearly see the care with which each test tube was crafted. Then, as you tilt your head back and press the vial upside down against your lips, you'll notice yourself grimacing from the serum's intense bitterness and the momentary burning sensation in your throat before throwing your arm dramatically downward and listening to the glass vial shatter against the cobblestone of your neoclassical castle as you slowly wipe your mouth with the back of your trembling wrist. Don't worry, these sensations are totally normal and only serve to remind you of the terrifying potency of our beautiful creation. And NatureFresh Werewolf Serum works fast. While you may experience an initial bout of momentary confusion during which you're likely to surmise you did something incorrectly and question whether the concoction is going to have any effect at all, this experience should subside after no more than the equivalent of 2 dramatic actors' beats, at which time your eyes will suddenly widen as you double over in pain. While the transformation process is excruciating, NatureFresh is proud to announce that our average time to metamorphosis completion is 28 seconds. That's 7 seconds shorter than the leading brand of werewolf serum. After just a few ghastly moments during which strained, tearing flesh gives way to the cracking sounds of hideous skeletal alterations as gnarled digits contort and elongate into hulking, knuckled daggers, rapidly sharpening teeth sprout harrowingly to accommodate the sickening protrusion of a monstrous, inhuman snout flanked by 2 upward-stretching spires once recognizable as human ears, and a sickeningly curving spine extends upward, its crest-like erection tattering your garments to unveil a towering, gargoyled mutation, 7 feet in stature and matted with a beast's fur, truly the visible embodiment of mindless savagery. As your raw-throated screams of agony morph into a prolonged, ghoulish howl, you'll be on your way to leaping violently through the closed window of your castle tower before landing impressively upright onto the soil below and vanishing into the tree line in a quasi-quadrupedal, grotesquely humanoid gallop. Our ultra-fresh meal plan comprises dozens of delicious recipes, including the old lighthouse keeper, an unsuspecting traveler, the fisherman who, upon hearing a mysterious rustling in the bushes, stopped tying his boat to the dock in order to lift up his lantern and ask, "Who's there?" The Kensingtons, the coachman escorting Lady Winchester through the woods who stopped to repair a damaged carriage wheel, Lady Winchester, Lady Winchester's horses, and much, much more. So what are you waiting for? Come see why millions of Americans choose NatureFresh werewolf serum as their go-to brand for blood-curdling transfiguration into a murderous anthropomorphic hound beast from hell. NatureFresh, the unnatural choice for natural living. NatureFresh is not responsible for any circumstances involving our customers muttering, "Oh God, it's happening again. No, no, not now. Please, not now." While a young maiden asks with concern, "Papa, what's the matter? You look unwell. Have you taken ill? Eustace, come quickly. I fear something is frightfully wrong with Papa." Prompting you to plead, "Oh, my beautiful Esmeralda, I love you so very much. Please, you must stay away from me. I must go now, my shining star, and you must not follow me into the woods, for men will hunt me there. Oh, Esmeralda, there is so much I wish to tell you, but now there is no time. Goodbye, my beloved daughter, my starlight." Before disappearing into the woods, until one stormy night when you, now permanently a werewolf, encounter your daughter one last time and begin lunging hungrily at her when her trembling voice gives you pause as she pleads, "Papa, it's you, isn't it? I just know it's you. Papa, it's me, Esmeralda. It's your daughter. Oh, my sweet Papa, what's happened to you?" At which time you slowly approach her and gently brush her hair back with your massive paw just in time to recoil from the arrow striking you in your side before suddenly finding yourself entangled in a large net of rope and dragged away by an angry crowd of torch-wielding villagers as your onlooking daughter pleads helplessly for you not to be harmed, her rain-soaked nightgown clinging bitterly to her as she drops to her knees and weeps softly beneath the thundering darkness above. I mean, you don't you have chickens now?
I do.
Yeah, so I don't know. This might be... I don't know. Does this sound interesting to you?
Yeah. I mean, I have always wanted to kind of like work on my physique, and this seems like a good way to do it. I'm kind of tired of being kind of an old fat guy.
I hear they have another product that helps reduce the time it takes to clean your kitchen called Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Clean.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like a performance enhancing thing or something. I don't know. But this is the one they sent me to read today. Must be the new thing.
I really appreciate their support. I'll take a look at it maybe after this podcast.
Oops, I dropped one out of the hat.
Oh no!
But I'm not gonna, Hey, I'm gonna keep shuffling.
It's that time again. That time when we draw out of the Matt Hat. If you would like to submit your ideas to the Matt Hat, you can go to www.matthadders.com. Add your suggestion. We'll add it to the hat. We promise.
We draw out of the Matt Hat because we're drawn into the Matt Hat.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, now, the topic for today is things Matt Handley has learned about hair.
I love this show so much. I just want to let you know how much I love this show.
Yeah, you and like 4 other people. It's great. So this is for our listeners who don't remember or didn't hear that episode. Matt we already had a discussion about. He has very long hair.
I do.
How long is it now? Have you measured it?
I mean, I don't know. Like, so the problem is it's all relative.
Uh-huh.
It's all relative. So like, I'm a very big person. I'm 6'5", 280 pounds, and so if my hair was a foot long,
are you trying to suggest
it wouldn't be?
Are you trying to suggest that because of your height, you look like you have a short haircut right now?
Well, I'm just saying that like, if my hair was a foot long, it wouldn't even get to my chin.
Yeah,
from the
but
top of my
it's
head.
not a foot long. It's like 3 feet long.
It's almost made it to the nipples.
Okay,
which I believe is the right way to measure.
Which is for you, very long because
that's right.
Yeah,
so the background
you have
is
very low nipples.
It happens when you get older.
Your breast, yeah, exactly. You're sagging.
So the longest hair I've ever had in my entire life, except for this current haircut or lack of thereof, is when I was in Asia, when I was in college, and I had hair that was pretty long. It like went down over my ears.
Yeah.
But the rest of my life, every other moment, it has been short. In fact, I came back from Asia. My parents picked me up at the airport. They remarked about my long hair. I was like, yeah. And then I went to college, and I came back for spring break after that, 2 months later. And I had not gotten a haircut. And my father said on the way home, we'd better get you a haircut before your mom sees you. And I was like, all right. And then we went to a random haircut place on Interstate 90 that I'd never been to before. And they gave me the worst haircut I've ever had. And I came back. And my mother said, "What happened to your hair? We have to fix that right now." And then we got it cut again. And then it was the shortest it ever been.
The irony, yeah.
Anyway, so, but anyway, 2 years ago, I decided to let my hair grow. It must be 3 years ago, to let my hair grow out. And not cut it really. And it has gotten quite long. And it has been, has been very interesting because I've learned a lot of things about hair that I did not know. Because being a college student, I didn't really take care of my hair. And when you have short hair, a lot of things in your life you go about without even recognizing or knowing that like there's this whole other world out there of long-haired people and the things they have to do to their hair that I didn't even know about. Things they have to do that I didn't even know about. So, and I mean, I think the deeper realization here is like a lot of things I used to associate it with being a woman are actually simply related to having long hair.
So are these things that you really have to do, or are they just because, things to make sure your hair looks good or something? Or just...
Yeah, sort of. There is a line at which it is functional.
Yeah.
And there's a line above that is like it looks good, right? But beneath the functional line, your life becomes really hard. Like, for example, if you're trying to work on something that is below you, like you're working on a workbench or something, and you're looking behind you and your hair is long, it will get into your eyes and you won't be able to see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because it'll get in the way all the time. So you have to put your hair back.
Right.
And there are multiple mechanisms and ways to do that.
Yeah.
There are clips. There are rubber bands. There are scrunchies.
Yeah, but for men, there are limited
there are more limited options. No ribbons. Ribbons are not allowed.
Yeah.
Clips are
but
okay.
But even scrunchies are a little...
But scrunchies are
even
probably...
clips, I mean, you can't really... You have to just... So I just wanted to interject real quickly to say that I, at one point, did have pretty long hair. The longest hair I ever had was in college, and I cut it before... Maybe I needed to cut it for a role or something, but I cut it before it got long enough for me to be able to put in a ponytail. But it was long, it was like down to my chin or something in the...
Yes.
Or some... I don't even remember... even in the front, but it was like not quite long enough. So it was frustrating because I was like, I have to put my hair back without doing, scrunchies or clips or something that with butterflies on them that women and girls do.
Right.
So I'm like, but I can't put it, I can't just tie it back. So I started wearing bandanas and like hats and things to like, because that's, so I remember that.
That's another approach.
Yeah, hats.
My favorite though is they call them hair things. People with long hair, they call them hair things. They're just hair things. Oh, do you have a hair thing? And
no,
like, yeah.
My wife says that too. She's like, "Where's my hair thing?"
Right, and it's
and yet everyone knows what they're talking about.
Exactly.
Like,
I know those things.
I haven't seen it. I thought I saw it. Yeah.
So at one point I learned how to put my hair into a ponytail myself. Put it into my hair, and the easiest ponytail to do is the one that's right at the nape of your neck, like right at the low part of your head. The lowest part, and that is the most formal and nicest looking ponytail.
Right.
But then I noticed that that the higher the ponytail gets, the more ditzy you look.
Yeah.
Like the more you look like you're ready to have a good time. Maybe it's because I was blonde once or something, but the higher I put the ponytail, the more it feels more effeminate, less manly. But
at the beginning, you have to put it high, right? Because it's the only way to even get it to happen, like when it's too short.
Yeah, I think when it was first starting... Because
the hair in the front doesn't reach.
Yeah, I think I just dealt with it and pushed it behind the ears. I don't think I ever did ponytails until it was long enough to put it into a ponytail. So anyways, so I put it low, and so I think that's kind of funny, and I've told this insight to women, and they sort of believe me and sort of don't at the same time. They're sort of like, oh yeah, and they're like, well, that's not necessarily true. There are still many more options of hair though that I've discovered, where you pull it halfway through the hair thing, and then you get a bun, and then you can get the man bun. The man bun.
I was waiting for the man bun to come up. I was going to bring it up. No, I don't think the man bun is cool.
it's okay.
No, it's not. I mean, I know now, it's cool. It's cool in quotes now, but I think I'm like, what? Why? I don't like it.
I don't think it looks good.
I think it's terrible.
And there's all this other things, like besides ponytails, like some days you're just like, want to keep my hair just as it is. And then you wake up and you look in the mirror and it's just like, it's like partially plastered on your face and it's like all screwed up. And when you like, you want to brush it off your shoulder because it's tickling you, and then you like then your hand gets stuck in it, and like it becomes this tangled mess, and you can't quite get your hand out.
Well, yeah, the tangling like, is and then you gotta brush it, right? I mean,
so then I learned to brush my hair on a regular basis, and this whole thing was like all of these things. I just assumed this was like girl stuff that you learn when you're, when you gain a vagina.
Right.
Like I just thought it was stuff that you like that, whenever that is at some point in the womb, some mythical beast shows up and says, here you are, let me tell you about hair and how it works. But none of this is true. This is all false. In reality,
much of it is just learn practical.
As they go. From friends, from family, all this sort of stuff.
Now, what about, so that's okay, tying it back and then managing it in terms of brushing it, keeping it from getting tangled. But what about products? Like
yeah.
So you got to wash it. You need more shampoo. I know that from personal experience.
You have to wash it. I have to condition my hair because I have very dry white dude hair, and so I have to add oil back into it after I wash it out, and then I usually have to put in some kind of like dry conditioner, some kind of like hairspray in as well.
Oh my gosh.
It isn't there to hold it fixed,
I still
but it's
don't
there
know.
Just to kind of make it less tangly.
I'm still one of the people that just shampoos my hair and that's all I do, no matter what. And then I get things like dandruff. But that's not
right.
So, but what I'm one of these people that still doesn't even really know what conditioner does or what dry conditioner versus
It adds oil to your hair.
And why do you need to do that?
Because otherwise your hair becomes staticky. And it just becomes this like ball of fuzz over your head. Like you look at my hair right now, you can see this little halo around me of fuzz.
Yeah.
That's because I have not conditioned it today.
Right.
But when you do that, it stays mostly, it does that much less.
Right. And then with the dry conditioner, what is the difference? What does that do?
After you take the shower. So after you take the shower, if you do all of that and then your hair is still fuzzy, you can put this in your hair and it will like make it less fuzzy. And there's a lot of ways to make it less fuzzy. My wife, she has something that makes her hair fix in place so it never moves. But I don't need to do that because my hair is generally well behaved and does not need restraint.
Yeah, your wife has curlier hair, doesn't she? Like naturally,
yes. Yes, she has intensely curly hair.
Right. My hair is very straight and
you. And anyway, and so so it's sort of like, anyway, so it takes a bunch of time. Like that's the thing that I didn't really apprient before.
And then you got to dry it. That's the other thing. But if you blow dry,
so I let mine just dry naturally.
Okay. Well, because if you blow dry it, it's even. No, if you don't blow dry it, then you got problems. Or if you blow dry, I don't even know about hair. No, if you blow dry it, it's faster, but then it's more likely to get all like frizzy and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. So it is I used to like wake up and I would take my hand and I would like move it across my head for a second or two, and then my hair would be exactly the way I wanted it. And that is not true at all now. Now I wake up and it takes me 15 minutes at minimum to get my hair exactly the way I want it to. And that is a minimum. Like most of the time, it's like half an hour. But I take a shower and do all this sort of stuff. It's like, ugh.
My hair is worse when it's short because when it's short, I have what are those? I don't know, the cowlicks or something. I don't even know what those.
Cowlicks.
Cowlicks.
Yeah. Really? Cowlick.
I don't know what those. They're like the real term for that is. If there's like a medical term for it or what.
It's called a cowlick.
A cowlick.
Yes. Because it looks like a cow has licked your hair.
But I don't know why. Okay. But there's got to be a better name for it. But I guess that's what everyone calls it. So I got two of those. The place where the hair at the top sort of backish part of your head where the hair seems to like kind of grow from and start to swirl out from. And I've got 2 of those. So anytime I get a short
double cowlick.
So every time I get a short haircut, the space in between those, it just like, I've always got hair sticking up back there.
Right.
And then just the shorter my hair is very thick and straight. And so like, if it's short, the longer it is, the better gravity kind of weighs it down and keeps it looking like hair that's draping over someone's head. Because when it's really short, it looks like a
spiky,
like a helmet. It looks like I'm wearing a bicycle helmet on my head made of hair. But it's not curly, so it's not like an afro kind of thing. It's just it's so thick and straight that it's just like boom.
Right.
And I'm like
So the other thing that I do, the other thing that I didn't realize is like. Which is, again, super obvious, but just shows how, myopic I was or whatever. But hair is like a form of self-expression. Like you wake up and some days you're like, I'd like my hair to look like this. And it's hard to explain why. It's like you wake up one day and you're just like, I want to just try this, right? And so you spend all this time like trying to make it look that way. And when your hair is short, that never occurs to you. You wake up and your hair is like...
Nearsighted. Myopic. Adjective. Nearsighted, lacking imagination, foresight, or intellectual insight. Example, the government still has a myopic attitude to public spending. Definitions from Oxford Languages. I'm sorry, can you begin that paragraph over again? I have no idea what you were saying.
I was saying that hair is a form of self-expression.
Yes.
So you wake up one day and you're like, I'd like my hair to look this way.
Yeah.
And there's it's hard to explain why. Like you're not like you wake up and you're like, I just some days I wake up and I'm like, oh, my hair is bothering me and I want to change it. And it's very unclear as to why that is.
Yeah.
And so
that's
then
why
I'm like,
they have and then also there's certain days like I sleep, and then some days like I just kind of wet my hair a little bit and it's like, oh, it looks fine. And then other days it's just I have to like soak my head and then there's still little hair sticking up. I'm like, why is it different today? That's why they have the term bad hair day. So but yeah.
So that is not how I used to live. I used to like wake up and my hair was always the same, and it was always identical, and it was always very similar. And now it's like there's all these choices I can make. I can try this way. I can try that way. I can do various kinds of things. My wife and my daughters have put my hair in braids before, which is super fun. Though probably not to walk around in outside, but it's but that's very convenient. I don't know, because I think people would make fun of me, probably. Actually, that's in reality. In reality, no one would make fun of me because I'm 6'5" and 280 pounds.
Right.
And so I often forget that I'm enormous and what that effect has on other people. One of them is I don't generally get teased.
Well, but they also, people also will just talk about you behind your back once you grow up. When you're a kid, they make fun of you to your face, and then later they still judge you or something. But
that's true.
So
that's true.
So don't worry. There's plenty.
There's also many hair care products that are off limits for guys. We talked about those. Like some clips are not okay. Scrunchies are probably not okay. Hair bands. It depends on the hairband, but most of them probably not. Rambo-like bandanas, always okay.
Right.
Always okay.
But then you're expected to smoke weed.
Probably nowadays.
With
and
everyone
wear a jean jacket with no sleeves.
With everyone. Yes. Okay, yeah. And bell bottoms and the tie-dye t-shirt underneath.
That's right.
Yeah.
Also, one time I have had my hair straightened, which my hair is already pretty straight, but when it gets straightened, it becomes like a surfer dude from California. Like totally, man, like righteous. Yeah. And which is super fun. Anyway, it is a whole world of things I did not even know existed. I'd heard about them, but I just thought they were like girl problems, but I did not realize that they are just problems with people with long hair.
Right, but they are still girl problems because our society I mean, nowadays things have changed.
Right.
And there are quite short haircuts for women that are still like, like nobody bats an eye kind of thing. But generally women are the ones expected to have longer hair.
Yes.
Especially, at least on average, than men. So, yeah.
I think that there is this. I think this is due to like selection pressure. I think men tend, on average, to prefer women with longer hair, and so there is a selection pressure to conform to that. Right,
and that's part of the expectation. It's not as like, I guess, strict of an expectation. Like it's not like some sort of Victorian society where like, how could you go outside in public with that
without your hair in curls? Like,
it's not like that. But there are still social pressures or whatever. In one form or another. Yeah.
Anyway, it's been fun, and the other thing which I think has generally been fun is when I go out and I find myself in social situations, which has not been the true recently, but especially especially before COVID, people would comment about my hair and they would say nice things. They'd be like, "Oh, your hair looks really nice today," and they never said that when my hair was short.
Yeah, because short hair all looks the same for men.
Right, whatever, I was just generic dude hair, and now I have but now there's like some kind of personality, and they say nice things, and that's fun. That's a fun way to have a conversation about that. And then people give me tips. People are like, "Oh, you should try this. You should try this. It's fun." So anyway, I've learned a lot about
mayonnaise.
Hair. Really?
Mayonnaise. That's what the Koreans I don't remember who. Somebody does mayonnaise. Somebody told me this and I was like, "What?" And I don't even remember what. I think it was for dandruff actually. So there's somewhere in the East, some country puts mayonnaise in their products.
That would, in the same way that covering your head in glue, that would also work for dandruff.
I use Vaseline. That's our sponsor.
I always wonder why your hair has that kind of sheen to it.
That's just because I don't bathe.
That's right.
Well, so this has been very informative for me as well. We didn't even get to the drain clogging with hair problem that longer hair makes even more difficult. But that's fine. I think we've covered. We gotta. This is getting. We gotta stop. We have to stop.
We gotta stop. Let's stop.
Do you have any more to say? Yeah.
I don't. I feel like I've shared everything you need to know. But if you have any questions about your hair, about my hair, or even Matt's hair, feel free to send me a note at our website, matthatters.com.
Because Matt is now more of an expert on hair than anybody else on the planet. So No.
I'm not claiming that. I'm just claiming that I will give you advice.
Matt will mansplain. Ladies,
that's right.
Send us an email so that Matt can mansplain to you everything you need to know about hair.
Do you know that your hair can get split at the end? And they call it split ends.
Yes. So or send us an email with, send us hate mail if you'd like.
We also didn't talk about the difference between
calling us
different races' hair, because that's also something I learned about hair. But we can say it for another time.
Well,
that's a whole other topic.
We'll have to have a special emergency
episode about afros.
I don't think maybe it's not our place to talk about,
Well, maybe no. We should have a special guest.
We should.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
So join us next time when hopefully I will be completely COVID-free, so that you don't have to wear your face masks while listening to the episode. Matt, I forgot to mention, you probably should scooch back a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
I think 6 inches is a little too close.
Okay.
But anyway, have a good couple weeks, everybody. We will
feel free to send any well wishes to Matt at our website, matthatters.com, matthatters.
You've just destroyed my self-esteem preemptively because no one will send anything, and then I'll feel really bad about myself. Anyway, we will leave you today with the group Unintended Innuendo. This is from the album Let's Do the Nasty, and the song is called Girl, I'm Gonna Need Your Help Cleaning This Elephant Cage.